So, yeah, so guys, in all honesty, we just caught the United States Navy and the United States Army. Well, the United States military, the American forces. So not the totality of our forces, the United States military, but a significant, population. Whether titled as Americana by Shawn Dexter John, The New Society Concepts and Political Perceptions of an Eastern Caribbean Model of Commonality, or simply as The New Society's Concepts and Perceptions of an Eastern Caribbean Model of Commonality, was some sort of Black Panther Caribbean terrorists who went back to the Caribbean out of fear, and that they would actually wait for this particular individual to become a prime minister or president or something of that nature. That was never going to happen. It was it was not just a sting operation, but what I have detailed to you guys, that's what it is. And you can see that, you can hear that I actually was coughing last night. The AC was on pretty high last night, so I started coughing. So you can hear that my voice is a bit hoarse. And I was speaking to a bunch of individuals last night, and I had to explain to them that this is over with. You guys are not going to stand in the way of us fixing the world and doing what has to be done to be able to get to the next level of cooperation, diplomacy, the expanse of democracy and Republican values, principles, for the most part, being applied as law and policy. But anyway, they were going to state that whoever was the American lookalike of Shawn Dexter John, or whoever were the American lookalikes of Shawn Dexter John and associates, were homeless bums, just a bunch of junkies who had a lot of time on their hand, who wrote up, work papers in belief that they were writing up Federalist papers like, installments and so forth, and this and that. Very envious individuals who are the ones who stated that. Listen, the ones who stated this are the envious individuals. All right? This is the truth. You guys cannot keep up with me. You guys are not, speaking another version of English. You guys are not understanding another version of science, political science or political philosophy. You guys cannot possibly keep up with my level of intelligence and genius. I'm tired of having to explain what I just explained. It's time to humble yourselves. Okay, it's time to humble yourselves. I run the Central Intelligence Agency and INTERPOL. I literally run the United States government as its manager, whether I have to shout it out loud to the world or not. And I am who I say I am. And I want you guys to be able to accept that. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the guy who created all of this. In all honesty, I'm not a crazy schizo running around. What I said is going to happen is going to happen. Okay, very soon. And I don't want you guys to overreact. I don't want you guys to over-respond. I do not want you guys to over-emote. I want you guys to be very, very humble, calm, or the United States military, my version of the United States military, NATO, will run into your facilities and humble your spirits. I cannot handle it. That's not right. So we caught the United States military hiring this young man and this young white man across the street with a red T-shirt to purport being the Shawn Dexter John homeless bum, and the white guy who was smart enough to have written all of his works they were hanging out in Titusville, Florida. Completely bogus, completely nonsensical, completely racist, completely wicked, bigoted, completely inferior. Okay, we caught you guys. You guys do not have a next move. It's time to comply with international law. It's time to comply with the Constitution of the United States. And it's time to comply, hey, it's that simple, with what is good. There's nothing else to try to figure out. When you get in trouble, you don't try to prove that you were right in having been wrong, especially when you know that you were wrong. You try to become a better person. That's how things work. If you're trying to get out of trouble in some sort of earnest and honest and meaningful manner, or if you cannot rectify the situation other than properly petitioning for mercy, leniency, forgiveness, or honest reassessment. If you do you guys understand? But anyway. Okay, so you guys can actually see that this is still the same me, obviously. I was never the person that you might see out there, you know. I am me, I am Shawn Dexter John. I was born in the Caribbean community, specifically in the Eastern Caribbean, specifically in the Commonwealth of Dominica in 1985, January 13, 1985 in all honesty. Well, January 1985 in all honesty, all right? And I've been here in the United States on the mainland ever since, 14 years old, even though I did visit prior to that, and I did live in Puerto Rico, a United States, territory before I moved permanently to the mainland in 1999. And I'm not lying at all. I did reside in Puerto Rico, or U.S. territory, before I moved to the mainland of the United States in 1999. So, yeah. So what is going to happen, with respect to the global war underway? What is going to happen with respect to the global war underway is the staging of it. All of the events, for the most part, are going to be staged so that no one will be an intended target, so that casualty won't be part of the intent, so that non-casualty will be a prerogative and part of the overall and concise directive. At the end of the war, the plan is to abolish nuclear warfare for good, global nuclear warfare specifically, and most pointedly, atomic warfare. Atomic nuclear warfare, or nuclear atomic warfare, has to be abolished, and that's what's going to happen at the end of the war. This is the Third World War, World War III. Quote unquote, it will be declared global war, or World War III. I'm pretty sure of it. All right, so what's going to transpire over the next 2 weeks? First, regarding what is being identified as Operation Candyland. Operation Candyland, meaning the White House is going to suffer complete demolition, and thereafter, central Moscow will submit to NATO forces. and essentially atomic, demolition of central Moscow, you know, and yeah, so the black generals are not to be threatened, obviously. And yes, and yes, we did arrest Matt Damon. He's the most racist person we have ever met. The young man is shockingly racist. What is wrong with you, Matt Damon? You are an actor. You are not an agent. You were just playing a role in a movie. Why do you believe that you're an expert on military affairs or CIA, NSA, preservation of white power? As if that's something to be an expert on in leading any sector of the military if you were ever given such a commission. Why would you buy into that? And why would you be so egregious in articulating it by essentially saying America is a white country and that's what it ought to remain? No, it's being crushed. America with a KKK. America spelled with KKK is being crushed. This is the end of it. We are going to preserve America, the United States of America, not America, KKK. All right? Not America spelled with 3 Ks. Do you understand? And Matt, there's no one threatening my life. Okay? These soldiers, they would hurt you guys for me. Not just the Negro soldiers of the United States military. Because I told you who I am. Matt Damon and George Clooney and Brad Pitt. This is not some sort of a pre-enactment of some sort of movie role or some sort of a murder mystery or any of that. I want you guys to tap out. I'm not going to live with you guys thinking that it's okay to murder an individual because he's stating that a black majority Caribbean country is the first. Will become the first associate state of the United States, essentially an American state of associate status in maintaining its sovereignty and independence. As a calculated move by the United Nations, by the Central Intelligence Agency, and by the Commonwealth of Dominica and its respective government. So yeah. So I'm going to have to explain this again. So I'm going to have to explain it again. There is nothing wrong with the Commonwealth of Dominica already guaranteed to attain this particular stature in becoming the first associate state of the United States, because it's a black dominant or black predominant Caribbean country does not mean that there's something anti-American or un-American about it. It just does not mean that whatsoever. And yes, five countries across the world will become the 5 associate states of the United States. And this particular stature is going to last for hundreds of years. And 5 are planned, and we don't want to offend the rest of the world, so only 5 are planned. The first is going to be the Commonwealth of Dominica. The second is going to be the Republic of Seychelles. The third is going to become the state of Israel. The fourth is going to be the independent state of Scotland, which is going to file for independence over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then the fifth one will be the Republic of Vanuatu, or it might be the third or fourth or fifth one. But certainly the first is going to be the associate state of the United States, specifically the Commonwealth of Dominica. So the first associate state of the United States will be the Commonwealth of Dominica as an official and nominal associate state of the United States. Okay? I might have stated it a bit peculiar just a while ago. Parts of what I just stated might have sounded a bit obscure, but essentially what was communicated is communicated clearly. So first, so the first is going to be the associate. So the first will be the Commonwealth of Dominica. The second will be the Republic of Seychelles. The third will be the Republic of Vanuatu. The fourth will be the State of Israel, and the fifth will be the independent state of Scotland after a referenda passes its independence. And not one of these states are associate states of any, continental union or continental system or supranational system whatsoever. They are independent and sovereign countries, and they're going to remain as such, but they're going to be peculiar in having independent territory-like status within the United States system, and they will be considered part of the United States in all, by all constitutional definitions for the most part. And by the end of the war, Taiwan will become an associate state of the People's Republic of China, and that means that it's going to attain independence and sovereignty within the United Nations General Assembly system and within the United Nations in general, but it will become part of the Chinese system, the Chinese country itself, in some sort of abstract, articulation of political principle, just as with the associate states of the United States. Okay, so once again, it is worth. Okay. Craig, listen up. Mr. Craig Robinson, white supremacist, former officer and agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and an associate of the Central Intelligence Agency, you're gonna get the fuck out of my country. Stop worrying about white women. Stop worrying about non-mixing. Stop worrying about the preservation of blonde hair, and get the fuck out of our country. The Canadian government has responded to your petitions, and they want you to remove yourself to Canada. Get the fuck out of my country. I am tired. You don't make sense. You are so fucking trivial, childish, and annoying, and shockingly criminal. You have terrorized people because of their race, bigoted reasons. Craig, get the fuck out of my country. Okay, so I'm gonna have to shave it as soon as I get back, but anyway. So this is gonna have to work out, okay, guys? By 2026, it's going to be official that the Commonwealth of Dominica will be the first associate state of the United States of America. And essentially, what that means is that by 2025, it'll be official within the Department of State and the Central Intelligence Agency. Just stop. Melvin, stop. Melvin, stop. Melvin, stop. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to call me. Don't call me. You guys, please don't call me up while I say I'm working. If I tell you I'm working at this particular time, don't call me up, okay, guys? All right, but anyway, Melvin Otay, we do not work together. You are envious of me. I already do have. No, LeBron James does not have sperms. He does not have a scrotum. He has an implant. There is no LeBron James procreation or breeding program. There's no Matt Damon being chosen to lead the NSA or CIA in secret or any of that. Grow up. I'm a grown-ass man and you guys are apparently little boys. I have almost 3,000 kids ever since 14 years old. Well, actually, officially ever since 16 years old, but ever since 14 years old, I've had my procreation breeding program, and I have almost 3,000 biological children. And you know that. And you know that, and you want to kill me over that? Melvin Otay, you're going with your fucking life. You guys are going to Canada. You guys said yes to killing all of the migrants in New York, and you guys said yes to detaining and killing migrant children at the border, the southern border. You guys got caught. You guys were working with ICE. Get the fuck out of our country. Do you guys understand? White and black. If you guys are terrorizing innocent families and individuals, and we have caught you guys, that's pathological. Get the fuck out of our country. If you guys have received U.S. Marshals request that you guys interview with them, considering the charges filed against you guys and the convictions, and you guys awaiting sentences. The Canadian government has spoken to you guys and have spoken to the United States government, and they're asking you guys nicely to get the fuck out of the United States. NATO is about to show up, and they have you guys targeted. And you guys are not going to take your chances. You guys are going to get the fuck out of my country. All right, so stop saying that you guys have a program for Bronny James and this, and stop saying that. My program has nothing to do about me being handsome or having very, aerodynamic or pretty or very handsome features. That's not what my procreation program is about. I guess that's part of the incentive. But it's about me having literally the highest IQ in the Central Intelligence Agency and the United Nations system. What is so crazy about that? Well, why are you guys baffled? Quit. I am not a rapist. I am not a murderer. I have never been investigated for any conspiracy to murder any individual or any group of people. That's why I still have my genitals and my scrotums and my whole genital system, my whole sexual reproductive system is still intact, it's still real, and it's still what you consider, highly functional. Stop getting confused. Stop. You guys are annoying me. Stop being envious. I had to say that because he kept saying that I was envious of LeBron James. Why would He's still in shock that I'm about to arrest this young man while we all watch the White House be demolished. He's in a lot of shock. He just looked at the bankruptcy statements of LeBron James, and he can see that LeBron James